There she is. Where? Right here, the wagon.
Dad, this is not the car you ordered.
Family vacations are supposed to bring everyone closer together. But when Clark Griswold got behind the wheel of the family truckster, comedy history was born. National Lampoon's Vacation didn't just redefine the road trip movie, it became the gold standard for family disaster comedies. But behind the laughs, awkward motel stays, and the infamous trip to Wally World, the story of how this movie was made is just as outrageous. Today we're unpacking 20 weird facts you didn't know about this Chevy Chase classic.
Dad, I haven't seen a car for an hour.
Oh, shut up, Audrey. You don't think Dad knows where he's going?
Thank you, Russ.
Number 1. Based on John Hughes's real family trip before vacation was a script, it was an essay written by John Hughes for National Lampoon magazine, titled Vacation 58. It was loosely based on a disastrous trip he took as a kid, where his father drove the family across the country to Disneyland. Hughes exaggerated details for comedic effect, but the misery of long hours in a packed car and family breakdowns were all rooted in truth. Without that essay, there would be no Griswolds, no Wally World, and no series of vacation misadventures. Hughes's personal chaos became a comedy classic that connected with families everywhere.
Well, there she is. Where? Right here, the wagon.
Dad, this is not the car you ordered.
The Griswolds' car is almost as famous as the family itself, the Wagon Queen. Family Truckster was built specifically for the film by modifying a Ford LTD Country Squire. Production designer Harold Michelson designed it to look deliberately hideous, complete with 8 headlights, fake wood paneling, and an uncomfortably green paint job. It was meant to mock the over-the-top station wagons of suburban America. Chevy Chase even joked that the car was the real star of the movie. Today, the truckster is still celebrated at car shows and fan conventions as a symbol of the Griswolds' misadventures.
When I was your age, my dad shared a beer with me, and I thought it was about the best thing in the world. Yeah.
Anthony Michael Hall, who played Rusty, hit a growth spurt during production. As filming went on, he noticeably shot up in height, making him almost as tall as Chevy Chase in some scenes. Continuity became tricky, since in certain shots he looks like a little kid, and in others like a teenager ready for college. Rather than reshoot or fix it, the filmmakers leaned into the chaos. It unintentionally added to the charm, reminding viewers that kids grow fast, and family vacations don't wait for consistency. Hall's sudden change is now a fun Easter egg for fans rewatching the movie. Number 4. Wally World was really Six Flags. Wally World might be a fictional amusement park, but the setting was very real. The amusement park scenes were filmed at Six Flags Magic Mountain in California. The rides you see in the background were real Six Flags attractions, with names changed to fit the film. The park shut down sections during filming, which allowed Chevy Chase to sprint through roller coasters and attractions without crowds. That famous finale where Clark holds security at gunpoint, it all unfolded in a real park, just disguised as Wally World. Today, fans still visit Six Flags to ride the same roller coasters seen in the film.
Buy his toys, we go to his movies. He owes us. Doesn't he owe us? Huh?
Number 5. Chevy Chase. Did his own stunts. Chevy Chase has always been known for physical comedy, and Vacation gave him plenty of chances to show it off. From falling off ladders to pratfalls in the park, Chase insisted on doing many of his own stunts. Some were carefully rehearsed, while others were spontaneous. The director Harold Ramis admitted that Chase's natural clumsiness often made stunts even funnier. His willingness to throw himself around physically added authenticity, making Clark Griswold both lovable and ridiculous. While risky, Chase's stunts became a big part of the film's humor and helped cement his reputation as a master of slapstick. One of the film's darkest gags involves Aunt Edna dying mid-trip and being strapped to the roof of the car. It's morbid, shocking, and undeniably funny, but it nearly didn't make it into the final cut. Studio executives worried audiences would find it too grim. Harold Ramis fought to keep it, believing the outrageousness perfectly fit the Griswolds' disastrous journey. In the end, the scene became one of the film's most infamous moments. The image of Aunt Edna's body on top of the family truckster remains one of the darkest, yet funniest visual gags in 80s comedy history.
Get here. Good to see you. Hi. Rusty and Audrey, come and meet your second cousins.
Number 7. Cousin Eddie was based on a real guy, Randy Quaid's unforgettable cousin. Eddie wasn't just a character. He was inspired by real people Quaid knew in Texas. He combined odd mannerisms, awkward pauses, and strange habits from people in his hometown to create the eccentric Eddie. With his out-of-place cowboy hat, sloppy manners, and bizarre lines, Eddie became one of the most quoted characters in the Vacation series. Quaid later reprised the role in Christmas Vacation and other sequels, solidifying Eddie as one of the most beloved oddballs in comedy. His origins in real-life Texas personalities make him feel hilariously authentic. Number 8. Christie Brinkley's Ferrari girl was kept in the dark. Supermodel Christie Brinkley made her acting debut as the mysterious girl in the Ferrari. To keep her reactions fresh, the filmmakers didn't tell her exactly how her character's flirtation with Clark would resolve. Her laughs and smiles while driving alongside Chase were genuine. Brinkley later revealed she was nervous about acting, but her charm made the role iconic. Even though she barely speaks, her character became unforgettable. The sight of Brinkley pulling up next to the family truckster in a red Ferrari is still one of the film's most famous and quoted moments.
You're sweating. Are you blushing?
You're silly.
Are you all right, Clark?
Hell yes, I'm fine. I'm having a ball.
Though Harold Ramis is now considered one of the greatest comedy directors, he wasn't the studio's first choice. Executives worried he was too untested. Chevy Chase, however, strongly pushed for Ramis after working with him on Caddyshack. Chase trusted his comedic instincts and wanted a director who understood the balance between slapstick and satire. Ramis ultimately shaped the film's tone, combining broad comedy with sharp commentary on American family life. Without his direction, Vacation might have been a completely different movie. Ramis's influence ensured the Griswolds became a household name.
Wally World, here we come!
The Griswolds' suburban house was built on the Warner Brothers backlot. It became so recognizable that it was reused in Christmas Vacation and even appeared in unrelated TV shows and movies. The neighborhood set around it has been seen in Lethal Weapon, American Beauty, and countless others. Fans visiting the Warner Brothers studio tour can still walk by the house today. For many, it's like stepping into movie history. The house represents the perfect suburban dream, ironically paired with the Griswolds' chaotic road trips and dysfunctional adventures.
Sorry, folks, we're closed for 2 weeks to clean and repair America's favorite family fun park. Sorry.
The talking moose at the gates of Wally World wasn't supposed to be a big deal. It was just meant to inform Clark the park was closed, but audiences loved it so much that the moose became an unofficial mascot for the Vacation series. In fact, it popped up again in Vegas Vacation and is still referenced in pop culture today. For many fans, the moose's "Sorry folks, park's closed" line is just as memorable as any of Chevy Chase's meltdowns. The moose's goofy, cheerful delivery contrasted perfectly with Clark's despair, making it one of the funniest and most enduring moments in the film.
Okie dokie. How's this?
Clark?
The first cut of the movie didn't end at Wally World. Instead, Clark kidnaps Roy Wally, played by Eddie Bracken, at his mansion and forces him to entertain the family. Test audiences hated it, finding it too mean-spirited. So the filmmakers quickly rewrote and reshot the ending, moving the climax to Wally World itself. The new version gave fans the unforgettable roller coaster finale and one of Chevy Chase's funniest meltdowns. Without that last-minute change, Vacation might not have been as beloved. It's a great example of how audience feedback reshaped a comedy classic.
I'm gonna have fun, and you're gonna have fun. We're all gonna have so much fucking fun we'll need plastic surgery to remove our goddamn smiles.
Number 13. Clark's famous meltdown was mostly improvised. One of Clark Griswold's most famous moments comes in the desert, where he completely loses it and rants about the trip. Chevy Chase took the scripted outline but added much of his own dialogue, ranting in character about everything from the heat to the family's suffering. The crew encouraged him to keep going, and Ramis left the camera rolling. What resulted was a meltdown so unhinged, so raw, that it felt painfully real. It wasn't just comedy, it was catharsis. Chase's improvised tirade perfectly captured every parent's frustration on a family trip gone horribly wrong.
Ma, I saw some detour signs.
I didn't see any.
I saw them when you and Mom were trying to fold the map.
Number 14. Dana Barron was the only Audrey to return. Later, the Vacation sequels famously recast Rusty and Audrey in nearly every film. But Dana Barron, the original Audrey, returned decades later for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2, Cousin Eddie's Island Adventure. It was the only time an original Griswold kid reprised their role. Fans loved the callback, even though the TV movie wasn't nearly as successful as the main films. Still, Barron remains a fan favorite since she originated Audrey's sarcastic, eye-rolling personality that perfectly balanced Clark's over-the-top optimism.
Look, I've lost all my cash and we're on our way to California and...
Wally World?
Yeah, Wally World.
The Griswolds' disastrous motel stays were so outrageous that real hotels were reluctant to participate in filming. Production had to carefully choose where to shoot, and in some cases, they had to build sets instead. The reason? Hoteliers feared being associated with sleazy or unsafe roadside lodging. Ironically, this rejection only added to the authenticity of the film, since the few real locations they did use perfectly matched the grimy, offbeat tone. Watching Clark and the family stuck in rundown motels felt uncomfortably real to anyone who's had a bad travel experience.
Can you excuse me?
You have to go.
Well, I'd stay if I weren't married, but I am.
The iconic pool fantasy sequence where Clark imagines himself skinny dipping with the Ferrari girl pushed the film's PG rating to its limit. The studio worried it was too risque for family audiences and debated cutting it entirely. Harold Ramis argued that the scene was essential. It represented Clark's desperate escapist fantasies during the trip. In the end, they kept it, and it became one of the film's most famous scenes. Brinkley later admitted it was her most nerve-wracking moment on set, but it cemented her role in pop culture history. In Vacation, Rusty is older than Audrey, but in Christmas Vacation, Audrey is suddenly the elder sibling. This age swap continued across the sequels, with the kids not only aging inconsistently, but also being played by completely different actors every time. The filmmakers embraced the inconsistency, treating it like part of the running gag. Fans still debate the true ages of the Griswold kids, but ultimately, the shifting roles became part of the series' quirky charm. It showed that in the Griswold universe, continuity takes a back seat to comedy.
Wow, this feels great.
Number 18. A crew member nearly drowned during pool shoot. The pool sequence didn't just make Brinkley nervous. It also nearly turned tragic. During one setup, a crew member slipped and fell into the water while handling equipment. Fortunately, they were pulled out quickly, but the incident shook the set. Brinkley later said the accident made the fantasy pool scene even more stressful for her. It's a reminder that even comedies can have dangerous behind-the-scenes moments. Thankfully, everyone was okay, and the pool sequence went on to become one of the most remembered parts of the movie.
Get here. Good to see you. Hi. Rusty and Audrey, come and meet your second cousins.
Number 19. The Griswold name was based on reality. John Hughes didn't just invent the name Griswold at random. He borrowed it from a real family in his childhood neighborhood. The Griswolds were known as a hardworking but slightly overwhelmed suburban family, and Hughes thought the name was perfect for his fictional everyman clan. It carried just the right amount of normalcy mixed with comedy. Over time, the Griswold name became iconic, representing America's most dysfunctional but lovable family. Today, when you hear Griswold, you don't think of Hughes's neighbors. You think of Clark, Ellen, Rusty, and Audrey. Number 20, Holiday Road. Became a surprise hit, Lindsey Buckingham's theme song. Holiday Road wasn't a big hit on release, but thanks to the movie, it became a cult classic. Its catchy tune perfectly captured the spirit of the Griswold family's chaotic adventure. Over the years, it's been covered by multiple artists and remains one of the most recognizable movie songs of the 80s. The song is now inseparable from the film. Every time you hear it, you can't help but picture Clark loading up the family truckster for another doomed trip. And there you have it, 20 weird facts about National Lampoon's Vacation. From near disasters behind the scenes to iconic cars and characters, this film wasn't just a comedy, it was the beginning of a pop culture phenomenon. The Griswolds became America's funniest dysfunctional family, and it all started with one disastrous road trip. Which fact surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the movies you love.